So how would you define yourself as a leader?
I think as a leader, I am a very passionate leader. I think an individual that understands and respects the power of a team. I believe I'm a pretty candid and honest leader when it comes to driving a team forward. And I hope that my passion, my dedication, my determination inspires others, really.
Now, did you plan your success? Did you have a plan that you followed?
To be honest, I didn't have, I've got the incremental milestones. I've never really had that. I think it's been an aspiration to be successful, and knowing it would take work. But when I got somewhere where I thought, this is great, I then reset the bar. And so I think I continue to do that every day.
Now, what would you say is the one attribute that you find is your strongest as a leader?
Fundamentally, it's accountability. I think the expectation of being accountable for what you say you are going to do, and setting the bar high.
Now, what motivates you as a leader?
It really does come down to people, actually. I think seeing people get better and actually achieving a goal that we set out for together, that's really, it inspires me, but it also drives me to not let those individuals down, to see how much better that we can be from the bar we set. So I think that's what really inspires me, is to see how good we can get.
Now, if you were to go back 10 years in your career, is there a specific attribute you find that you've changed in how you lead today?
Yeah, I think so. Having accountability, but taking it to, you need to be control and actually do everything. You've got to be part of everything, was where I used to kind of drive from as a leader. And I think it's changed. It fundamentally changed, has changed over time. And that is really the power and the attribute of trust and having confidence about empowering others, and really understanding that it's impossible to do it all. And actually the results and the outcomes are better when you empower others and they actually take what needs to get done, or the vision or the goal at hand, empower people to actually run with it. I think that, to me, I think that's the biggest attribute that's changed.
Now, in terms of motivating your teams, do you find that that's changed during the pandemic?
I don't know necessarily if it's changed through the pandemic. I think what's really become evident as a leader is, to be empathetic, to try and walk in the shoes of others, be adaptive, but also the importance of remaining focused to the goal and creating passion around that goal. And that can-do attitude, making, empowering teams to make quicker, faster decisions and actually be a little bit more creative, and not having that fear to fail.
Now, what's your proudest moment as a leader in your career?
Probably my proudest moment is actually that our new hashtag, the Vallejo Way.
Yep.
The Vallejo Way is really, to me, an essence of what you try to accomplish every day, is that people identify with a culture, with a purpose together, and is really all striving to achieve that goal.
Now, what would your advice be to the next generation of leaders?
Be courageous. It's so important, I think, more so than ever for leaders today and of the future, is to be courageous, to look a little different, to think a little different, and making decisions quick enough to readjust and move forward.
Now, what do you think should be the role of leaders around diversity and inclusion challenges that we're facing in the workplace?
As a leader, is acknowledging the power of diversity and what that brings to the organization. I think diversity inclusions needs to start with a mission in the organization, because I think with that, I think you are a better problem solver. More ideas are brought to the table, more perspectives are brought to the table. So as a leader, I think you play a key role in setting up the expectation and the mission and the goal around that in your culture. And I think fundamentally, I think organizations that don't have the mindset of what the power of diversity and inclusion creates for the success of an organization are going to quickly fall behind.
Yeah. Now, what is your leadership credo?
I will be an optimist and enjoy everything that happens to me and everything I do. I want to be known by my family as a woman who loved and cared, by my friends as someone who was always there, by my team, my colleagues as a fair, honest, accountable, and hardworking individual. And I want to ensure I respect everyone for whoever worked for me and to earn their respect in return. I believe that every action I take and every thought I have is directed by a sense of values and integrity. And I hope I live life without regrets. So,
yeah, oh, that's awesome. Thank you for sharing. Now, balancing the mind is very important for leaders. Yeah. What do you do to create that balance?
It's really important for me to exercise. Where I am the happiest and realize that is when I actually stop and spend time with my family. If I'm near the water, ocean, beach, and I'm in sun, I know that that's a place where I can really reset myself. But exercise is really important to have a balance, I think.
Any books that you would recommend from a leadership perspective that are your favorite or you think would be worth me reading?
I think you maybe read it, but Patrick Lencioni, The 5 Dysfunctions of a Team.
Yep.
I think part of it was being in competitive sports teams all my life, and what they taught me, both kind of from the practical sense, but also the emotional sides of being part of a team. And I really like Patrick Lencioni's 5 Dysfunctions of a Team because I think it makes a whole lot of sense.
Now, if you ever have the time to write a book, what would you write about, or what would you call it?
It's a journey, not a destination. And it really is focused on kind of impact, influence, and inspiration. As a leader, you have to be inspirational, you have to be influential, and you have to create and cause impact. And you being part of it as well. So I think that's what my book would be around. It is a journey, and you do, as a leader, you have to have the expectation of those 3 areas that you are kind of driving that, but being a true leader is actually where impact, influence, and inspiration is actually through others and caused by others.
We need to get you to write it then. Now, if we put you on the cover of Times Magazine, what would you like it to say?
I guess the willingness to change is a strength. Making it happen takes empowered people. It requires sacrifice, dedication, and creativity, none of which can be coerced.